Hello. Hello, Kiwi, Sand, Sunshine. Hello, Sunshine. Okay, guys, we got the verdict. Hello, Demon Dictator. Hello, Marie. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Nicola. Hello, everyone. All right, let's look at the verdict.
America versus Sean Combs is now in the hands of a jury. 8 men and 4 women will decide 3 separate charges: racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, transportation for the purposes of prostitution. In a jury room like this, the jurors will be poring over their notes, the evidence, the testimony. The only question left: how long will it take to reach a verdict? For R&B singer R. Kelly, who was also indicted on federal charges of racketeering and sex trafficking, it took association with sex offender and financier Jeffrey Epstein, murders of Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown. The jury is not sequestered. That's not really a thing here at federal court, where we're going to be on verdict watch for the foreseeable future.
You stand by. I also want to bring in our NBC News legal analyst, Kristen Gibbons-Fedden. Kristen, you have followed this one from the very beginning. I want to just update our viewers about what's going on inside court right now. His defense team, given the acquittals on some of these charges, Kristen, they're asking for him to be released. Because remember, he's been behind bars. He was facing such serious crimes, even though he had pled not guilty and maintained his innocence. He was behind bars this whole
I mean, come on, guys. What do you think? I think that they got it right. I think that the feds were pushing too hard with Diddy. I think they got it right. I think if I was on the jury stand, I would be trying to figure out all these charges, like the racketeering, conspiracy, the sex trafficking by fraud or force, not guilty, sex trafficking by ST, by force, fraud, or coercion. Not guilty. He's guilty on transportation to engage in prostitution. That sounds right. And then one more. Hello, Babette. Hello, Eva's Funny World. So what do you guys think?
time, right?
You know what? I really think the feds should be embarrassed. They really, in my opinion, kind of lost this case. They went in there and seized all this baby oil stuff and the guns, and they didn't even get him on any gun charges. They didn't. Yeah, it was a tough call, says Demon Dictator. Yes, it was. It was interesting for it not to be guilty on all counts. Because here's the thing. Wow, I think they did good, honestly. They're trying to get him released. I don't blame them. I don't blame them trying to get him released. I mean, he's guilty he's guilty when it comes to abuse. It comes to all of that. He's guilty, but he's not on trial for those things.
He has been in a detention center for months now, and so they're asking for him to be released today, for him to be able to live in Miami at his home. They've said, look, his plane has been sequestered. This is his first conviction. He should be released on appropriate conditions. Kristen, what are the...
It's true. What do you think about getting him released? Jane Doe lost it for the prosecutors. Oh, you think Jane Doe did because she was like a willing participant? Not a great verdict. He should never be released. Ooh, Karen said he should never be released. Lionel is on Atwood right now. Okay, let's go there. What was they saying that they...
To win. This wasn't brilliant, but a lot of people...
It wasn't a win.
With what they... A mile back, I'm saying, he's not going to win. This wasn't brilliant, but a lot of people, as you know, confused with what they wanted to happen with what happened. And they thought that he's a bad guy. And he's like, well, he's not charged with being a bad guy.
Right.
If he was charged with arson, I keep using this.
Exactly.
He would be found not guilty because there was no fire.
Thank you.
You charged him with this. As they said
They
to Jack
didn't.
Reacher, remember, you wanted this. So that's it. Sex trafficking, force, fraud, or coercion.
They didn't even go after they didn't go off of arson. They didn't go off of battery and abuse. They went after sex trafficking and racketeering and RICO. Hi, LL from Ireland today. I've been hiding in the trees for a while. Happy birthday for a little bit in advance. Thank you, Sycamore Tree. Thank you.
Sean, Cassie made $30 million.
Yes, she
got
did.
$10 million from the hotel, right? 20 plus from him. They're talking to each other. There are women lining up. We've been through this. We've been through this week after week with you. And I'm saying,
what are the women lining up
listen
for?
To this is force, fraud, or coercion. He had to fight him off with a stick. This isn't for. In fact, it's a travesty when you think of what it really does to demean women who actually have been. Now, Mann Act violation. Now, this is the funny part. The Mann Act, M-A-N-N, is like a centuries-old statute, which is like, you're kidding me, right? I mean, people are thinking, Mann Act? In our country, in order to invoke federal jurisdiction, we have two lines of jurisdiction, state and federal. To go federal, there has to be a
This is not a slam dunk for
something
the
involving transportation, commerce, interstate traffic.
It's not a slam dunk for the prosecution at all. It's a slap. It's given me embarrassment to the feds.
trafficking, the mails, the post, wire fraud, something bigger. We don't have a murder statute per se. We have like a violation of civil rights. Or something.
Right.
So anyway, Mann Act is this, there's no prostitution per se, but transporting people across state lines for the purposes of.
This is an embarrassment into their whole investigation. It's an embarrassment. They went in there, they seized guns, drugs. They didn't get him on a drug charge. They didn't get him on arson. They didn't get him on, I mean, what the hell were they thinking about? What a weak prosecution. Yeah, I don't think he's going to get out doing stupid stuff. If he gets out doing dumb stuff, he's going right back in. And this time he won't get out. But this has got to be an embarrassment to the
prostitution. So Cassie, how does it feel? You're a hooah, as we decided that they were going to have a sentencing guidelines where they look at your name. It looks almost like a game, like a scorecard. I look at your name. I look at prior record, any violence.
He doesn't have a prior record.
Probation. What was your status of liberty at the time? Were you on probation? Were you?
He doesn't have
whatever. I add them all up.
Priors.
And then I come up with a score, and that score is a presumptive sentence, and the judge can go above.
Their case was weak
or below.
If I was on the jury,
he can depart from the presumptive sentence if there are aggravating or mitigating circumstances, and if he can articulate them in writing based upon clear.
I didn't get anything from this case but a whole bunch of freakiness. That's what I got. I got a whole bunch of freaky stuff from this trial. And I got freaky stuff. I got he's an abuser. I got he's not a very nice guy. I got he's a scary individual. Oh, why? Why do I need to take their chat off?
Clear and convincing reasons, which means it's up to me. People are going to say 21 months. Now remember, federal judges, they do whatever they want. In our country, we have an expression to say, what are you doing? How come we're making a federal case out of it? Well, that's what federal courts do. They make a case out of stuff that's really not even there. It's where you go to really zap it to people. Think about this. Think about Sammy the Bull, Gotti, all of the commission case, Tony Ducks Corralo. That same kind of statute for this guy, racketeering enterprise.
Yes.
And Sean, you know about this. I keep saying, because I think from, by virtue of your incredible research in your life, you know that in order to prove racketeering, I just have to prove two predicate acts. That's it. The more the merrier. They didn't find nothing.
What about this? The gun with the serial number rubbed off. Wasn't that a predicate act?
Yes. Here's what they should have done. I would have
got him for gun charges
like that. Have the filing the serial numbers using a silencer. One of these weird things.
No, they mentioned it.
Nail them. It's better to have a strong, misdemeanor than a weak felony. Go for anything.
And everything.
Al Capone, the famous Al Capone. What did they get him on? Tax evasion. Doesn't matter what it is. Nail somebody on something. But the thing is,
nail him
lock him up. You don't go for these big, grandiose, charges of what have you. So what he did was, think about his cred. Maybe you know more about this, and I am not at all an expert in the world of hip hop or whatever it is, but he is golden. I mean, he is the story of stories.
Yeah.
This is everybody thought that Diddy was kind of like the wimp. You know what I mean? Like everybody else was tough. Suge Knight's gonna park his ass probably forever. I don't even know what his sentence is. Everybody else is either killed. You got Tupac, you got Biggie, you got this. He made it. He survived. He gave up nobody.
No.
He kept his demeanor. He was doing that namaste. And what they're doing is, a lot of your astute viewers will say it was an inside deal. He knew it. Inside deal, inside job, my ass.
I didn't get
if this guy were Joe Blow,
Dale was drunk and angry.
Atwood,
you mad because
Diddy
the verdict?
Maybe not you because you're a star, but before your stardom, nobody would have brought this up in federal court.
Government.
Nobody. No. I also want you to think.
To me, this is a embarrassment. All that that they did, going to his house, seizing everything. They're busting in his home like he's this big time criminal, and he's then killed someone, and now he's on the run. I mean, that's how they busted into his house, like he had done something really nefarious. But I mean, they didn't prove arson. They didn't prove murder. They didn't prove any. They went in there with Cassie and the rest of Jane Doe's and talked about his sex life. They talked about his sex life. That's what I think. It was very weak to me. I was trying to figure out how they were going to charge him for all the RICO. I was like, I don't see any RICO. I didn't see it. Oh, Dale, I didn't mean to take off your wrench. Do you want it back? I took off SCJ's too by accident. Not that you're going to do anything with the wrench. I mean, so yeah. How can they go after him with a weak case and he can afford the best lawyers? You need to have a slam dunk case. You do. You need to have a slam dunk case, Eva's Funny World. Okay, I'll give it back to you. I didn't mean to take it in the first place. I think I took SCJ's, I took Sam's, and it was all by mistake. This is crazy. I just think that the feds need to be ashamed of themselves. The federal government is making a fool out of themselves. They went and picked up this media. They never revealed the real evidence of his crimes. I believe the evidence was kept hidden to protect others higher up. Well, then why fuck with them? Why even mess with him? Why even go for him if your case is weak and you ain't got your stuff together? I mean, they made this man out to be this. He's not the nicest guy. We get that, because he had these freak offs and stuff and made these women do stuff. I get that part. He's not a good mate. I don't want to date him or nothing like that. Nobody wants to date him. I'm sure there's women that do, but hey, Lisa. What do you think about the Diddy trial, Lisa? I think the feds need to be ashamed of themselves. Shame, shame, shame. Went in there busting up in his house like they had some big evidence going on. And I was trying to figure out through the whole trial, okay, when are they going to get him? On what? On what? Hello, USA. Yay, is that what's his name? I don't really think anything. Diddy doesn't have the best morals or compassion, but never saw Rico just a violent controller. Exactly, Lisa. I think the feds need to be embarrassed and be, because they were stupid. They didn't have their facts in their case together. And then it makes them look like they went after him for nefarious reasons. Now, he is a bad guy. He's a womanizer. He's you never would want to date somebody like this. He is controlling. Cassie got 30 million. No more Tissy Rose, Kanye. He's never had any prior convictions. I wonder if they're going to let him go.
Think about this. Tommy. Anyway, so New York is crazy. These jurors are crazy. So the other day, after they're getting these notes, one guy says, "Excuse me, I don't understand the law." And they're saying, "What the hell is this?" I don't know where they got Borat or somebody. We don't know if he's from a different country, but they were suggesting this guy doesn't understand either English or something. I thought that's a great defense tool. Pick people who don't speak English, and then during the course of the closing argument, use every $3 word you can. He goes, "Does this make any sense? Does this in any way jibe with the perspicacity that's been explicated or expatiated so far?" I ask you. I don't know this law. What is this? So anyway, so the judge was saying, and then they wouldn't get along. Remember that they were arguing. So anyway, so then they said, this is the best part. They said, as far as the racketeering case, it's over. So they issue what is called an Allen charge. You may have heard this, a million charges. An Allen charge. An Allen charge is an instruction. It's also called a shotgun charge.
Okay.
Which says,
what are you talking about? Exactly, media. Does anyone really believe that there were only those few victims they talked about in the trial? I'm sure there's more victims than that. We listen to the higher ups in control, but Diddy is part of what would be higher ups. There's no tunnels, no were their children, no group freak offs. So most of it was proven to be untrue. Exactly, Lisa. Listen to this, guys. We listen to the higher ups in control, but Diddy is part of what would be higher ups. There's no tunnels, No, there's no, nor were there children, no group freak offs. So most of it has proven to be untrue. Listen to this. Guys, there wasn't no group freak offs. There wasn't no children being trafficking. Well, none of that going on. It was just 4 people in the. Wow.
An Allen charge. An Allen, whatever. Okay. So they said, good news, they found a verdict. Or they have a verdict. I'm saying, Schmuck, not guilty is a verdict. What are you talking about? They think verdict means guilty. So I'm saying, good news, bad news for him. There's a verdict. Yeah. Which one is it? It's like, do you not understand how this thing works? And the coverage, another one too is, when you push, so see, I love to have a very simple case. Boom, boom, boom. That's it. I'm done. Here is a gun. This is the gun before. It's a 32 caliber Smith & Wesson. Here's afterwards. You see these numbers? They're filed off. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Find them guilty. Go home.
He does?
No. They had lube, Astro lube. You know more about the lubes than I do, Sean. I have no idea. You know about the flavor. Don't play stupid with me. I know all about you. I know all about you. No, but the point is, Astro lube, baby oil, UTIs, all this. When I hit you with something,
yeah,
it's like when you tell Ziggy not to do something, which you rarely do because he's a perfect child. My God, he's. But if you give him too much information, he's saying, I don't know what the hell this guy wants me to do. I can't follow this. What do you? He told me 12 things I'm not supposed to do. Just tell me one. Don't give me all this stuff. Be very specific. Don't touch the hot stove. Got it. So what they did was these people are sitting back and they're thinking, oh my God.
I don't like them.
Are we going to see this gun? Every time they saw the Cassie video, it's like, oh, for the love of God. I know. Slow it down. It's like there's a Pruder film. Back and to the left. We know this. Okay. I thought for sure at first, I don't know if the jury can really grasp this. Oh, I think they did. I think they, in this debauch, remember, this is New York. This is where you can walk out of the courtroom, right there in Center Street, and there's somebody walking around with a severed head. There's somebody nude.
What are you talking about?
Right where the federal court is, behind it, it's kind of like Chinatown and Little Italy and China. They've got open air gambling and Tai Chi. It's like this. What? This is New York, and you think you're going to hit us with baby oil? Baby oil? What is it? So they have maybe not a higher standard, but also kind of a more of a liberal kind of a. You know what I mean? It's like okay, because if I went to
prove their case,
Valdosta, Georgia, Dothan, Alabama. They might have a hard time. They did what with baby oil? That's just perverted. Praise God. And with the death of Jimmy Swaggart, people that. This isn't even worth commenting on. Closing argument for what? They didn't prove anything.
No.
Sit down. Have a nice day. We trust them. Let's go ahead. Tee it up. And there's nothing worse than the prosecutor. Don't you want to rebut anything? Nope. Don't you want to put on your own? What is it? Nope. Nothing? Nope. And sure as hell not Diddy. Meanwhile, Diddy's like this. Namaste.
No witnesses.
He's doing all this stuff and he's making all these signs and he's got the gray hair and he knew something. Not that this is fixed. Nobody fixed this. But he's smart enough. Let me tell you something. I have a newfound respect for him. I thought he looked like a dumbass. This guy can't close his mouth. Always walks around with his mouth like a fly's gonna go. He just looked like an idiot compared to. And by the way, he's no Jay-Z, who looks completely mentally retarded. But that's a different story.
You're becoming a USA, gifting someone a membership.
Adjudicated a real pimp. Take that, Snoop. Take that, whoever you are, Fitty Diddy and all that. This guy's legit.
Let's put some hearts in the chat for USA for gifting someone a membership. Whoever got the membership, make sure you thank USA for it. Thank you, USA. Check out my wedding video. Thank you, Snowdrop. Thank you guys for putting hearts in the chat for me.
He never ratted anyone out,
He
never
didn't.
took the stand, did 10 months standing on his head, which is an expression when it's
Rat
so
anyone
it's so
out.
easy. He said, I'll do it. And he and what they're going to do now is they're going to say, we want him released.
Yep.
Pending the appeal, because they're going to appeal these two Mann Act violations.
Yep.
And also, Judge, where's he going?
Yep.
You think he's gonna what, escape to
Yeah,
Bolivia?
where's he going?
He's got 10 months under his belt.
Yep.
We know where you're going. He's gonna sit back. Now, if he goes back and listen to this, if he plays the post, if he becomes the voice of this prison reform.
Yeah.
Remember Chuck Colson from the Watergate days? People that go into it. Martha Stewart didn't do it. Once they go into prison and they come out, they forget all their friends, all the people that helped them from getting their ass beaten, in the shower. But if he said, I'm going to give something back. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the greatest country in the world. And if this can happen to me, don't tell me that being rich.
Yeah. Listen to him. Listen to Lionel. Oh, thank you, USA. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Listen to Lionel. Lionel thinks that he's embarrassed by them as well. We're all like, he sounds like, look how shameful this trial is. He said he should come out advocating for those in prison because how bad the prison is. That tells you that these charges are weak. Let's put some new hearts in the chat for USA and a few kisses. Thank you, USA. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Love you too. Mwah. Oh, I bet Natanya probably does have some comments to make. Snowdrop, good question. USA, thank you for the super chat for Letitia's channel. Thank you, USA. Let's put some hearts in the chat for our lovely USA for my super sticker. Hello, Tracy Teach. We're just discussing this situation. And the federal, they need to be embarrassed by this because I would be pissed off. You call me in here because I do freak offs? That's what you're trying to prove? I don't know what the prosecution was thinking. That, let's show that he's a freak. That's all, like, poor Cassie. Very sad what happened to her and how she lived a life of that with him. Had to be horrible. But that just makes him a horrible man as far as boyfriend or lover is concerned, and that you never want to hook up with someone like them because he's an abuser as well. Oh, Dale, no, can't stand the voice and always skeptical of newbies. I think they should let him out too, according to yeah, they should.
Buys you a second tier of justice, because it does. Because if I was anybody else, this would have never happened. They were jealous of a black man, jealous of my success, jealous of the fact that I did everything. I dared to push against liquor companies. I dared to stand up for my rights. If I'm Warren Buffett, I'm a genius. If I'm Donald Trump, I'm a genius. But they didn't like the fact. Sorry about this freezing. I don't know what the hell is going on. But anyway, so let me see.
All right, keep speaking. We can hear you fine.
Yeah. I have this frozen face disease. So he can play this beautifully.
He could.
I'm telling you right now, his PR people, whatever he does, he is, think about this. He beat the federal government of racketeering. Name one organized crime, anybody you've talked to, anybody who beat racketeering. Never. It's so easy. It's so easy. That's why they do it. He beat it.
No.
He went into racketeering, came out a pimp, which is great. He should do what Trump did. Remember when Trump had that
they cannot retry him.
Mugshot. That was the most. He showed you. He has a picture of it in the White House. He loves it. He has got to say, "I'm a pimp. I know what I'm talking about," and I decry this. I'm not proud of this. And by the way, I feel, and he also has to apologize to the ladies, to Cassie, and to whoever Jane Doe is, and to the passels of male prostitutes that I had. Maybe that was the reason for it. I want to apologize because I don't mind what they said about me, but they've accused you by virtue of this as being a prostitute. You were never a prostitute.
Right.
You never. The federal government just besmirched and libeled you.
Yes.
They're calling you a prostitute. They said that I was your pimp. How dare they?
They called Cassie a prostitute. They called them prostitutes. They sure did, Lionel. I think if I was Diddy, I'll go after the feds. I'll do a countersuit. Ooh. Because this is an embarrassment. This is an embarrassment in my book, that they proved, in my opinion, that he is a scum. But where is the illegal action? That you didn't talk about drugs. He wasn't on trial for drugs. He wasn't on trial for battery and assault. He was in jail. He was in jail for RICO, S trafficking, and they wasn't able to prove that. It's an embarrassment. They owe him an apology for busting up into his house like that, because they act like they had a slam dunk thing going on. Now, we did hear about him catching somebody's thing on fire. My mommy, I'll call her back. Trial was shameful, and it's sad. So many people simply hate the rich and famous. Diddy is a monster, but not Rico. Just morally bankrupt. Yep. That's a good one, Lisa. I like that comment. Hello, Pain. Yeah, she's a moron. Free the Tissy Roll. Free the Tissy Roll. Free the Tissy Roll. Tissy Roll. Tissy Roll. Free the Tissy Roll. I think if I was watching this case and Perez was giving us updates every day, and I asked you guys the other day, I said, do you guys think he's guilty? Some of you put one in there, and some of you said he'll be guilty on some, and I figured he would be guilty on some as well. But the thing is that they wasn't able to really prove their case as far as the hard charges. And what a fake-a-do trial this was. Seems he was only in trial for sitting in the corner wearing a hood with his tissy roll out watching others copulate. Yeah, he was in the corner with his tissy roll and his thing on his head and was sitting there watching something that he had put together. That's what I've learned about him. I learned that he is a freak. He is a womanizer. He beats on women, and he treats women poorly. That's what I learned about Diddy. But I don't think I needed a trial to figure that out. Y'all better run out, get your baby oil. Diddy's getting out. He's getting out. Idiot prosecution. They're idiots. I don't even have a law degree. And when I was reading the case, going over the case, I said, what the hell is it? This is all about his sex life. I'm talking about sex and more sex. Like this was a sex. This was a, you know what? If nothing else, they tried to embarrass him, but they're the ones that are embarrassed because they're the ones that lost their case. If being a weirdo, creepy freak was a crime, I'll lock him away and throw away the key. Me too. Get in there and sit down because you are the number one freak of the year here. Get the key and lock him up. If being a weirdo, creep freak with a crime was a crime, I'll lock him away and throw away the key. No, because Perez has said that he had proven the RICO. They had proven RICO. Everybody was saying how they had proven RICO. And I was like, I didn't know what the hell RICO was. So I pretended like, I just was like, whatever. Because I wasn't catching on to the RICO bit. And then I was trying to understand the sex trafficking. And I wasn't understanding that because these were adults, consensual adults going out of state to have sex, but he did pay them to do that. So that part is a crime, but not guilty on the forced. Yeah, why did they put Jane Doe up there? They should have just had Cassie. Hello, JBZ. Salute, Lady Letitia. Much love and respect listening while I am out doing errands. Okay. Dressed like Darth Vader in a corner with his tissy robe. That's that stupid stuff. Yep. It's like all the people going to see Chris Brown with all his charges and rapes, etc. He does. Ooh. I didn't know Chris Brown had a record like that. Right. And they have to be rugged too. Perez, Candace Owens, and Andy Sigmore have been subpoenaed in the Blake Lively fiasco. Why? Why have they been subpoenaed? Interesting, Nicole. The unregistered guns were RICO, no? I don't know. I bet the juror was sitting in there like, what the hell did they? Oh, I can't get over it.
Respectable women. Cassie is a wonderful person. He can really say, damn. And the federal government says, no, wait. No, you called them whores. You basically gave them the Mary Magdalene effect. Thanks a lot.
They did.
And meanwhile, Jane Doe. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is why Jane Doe remains a Jane Doe. Look what they did to her. And so now she's been labeled and adjudicated a prostitute. She never did anything of the kind. These people have no soul. They'll do anything to win their case.
Yeah.
I mean, this is enormous. Now, one more thing. You want to go through the list of all the folks who was it, Porter or whatever? Go down the list of all the people. I'm not saying it's close to the Hillary list of sudden surprise.
Pneumonia.
Yeah, but like we say in the South, don't buy the green bananas. You know what I mean? Don't anticipate a life unfettered by whatever, because there's a lot of people, and God knows what testimony was presented to the feds that never made it. See, this is
case, but
in my neck of the woods. I stand for the proposition that we believe in the Constitution. The Constitution won. The Constitution that protected President Trump ultimately is now this. We have a thing in our country called lawfare. Lawfare is when I target prosecution against my enemies. Lavrenti Beria, who was Stalin's person, says, show me the man, I'll show you the crime. And that's what this is. So this is a beautiful day. There's so many layers to this. And I promise you, nobody on TV is going to be doing what I've told you for the past 29 minutes, because they have a 1 minute time zone. They don't have anybody who knows what they're doing. And they have somebody who is more interested in trying to burnish their reel to sell it to some agent. I'm telling you the truth. And I've always told you, let me tell you, we had a guy in this country, George Zimmerman, who killed this Trayvon Martin. This was a tragedy years ago. I don't know if you remember it. But I said on day one, he's going to walk. Oh my God, people went crazy. I said, you don't understand. I know about the stand your ground law in Florida. I was a prosecutor. The facts aren't there. He was acquitted, as I predicted. Remember Casey Anthony? With her daughter? Day one, I said, they're going to find her not guilty. Why? Because they found a skull. We don't even know the cause of death. Remember the 4 types of death: NASH, natural, accidental, suicide, homicide, and undisclosed. It was a skull. We didn't know she died. We can't even go to step 2. Of course she killed, but you can't prove it. People went crazy.
Yeah,
crazy. So it goes on and on. My position it's not what I want, but it's what I know to be true. And there's some things that people forget. Let me say this one final thing, and then I'll let you. I know you're dying to get a word in here. But by the way, I'm a dream come true. You sit there like this. By the way, this picture right here you're seeing of Sean, this is actually a loop. He's in the next, he's getting his car washed. He's not even here. If they charged Diddy with arson, take all the facts of the case, arson, he'd be found not guilty. Why? Because there's no fire. Not that he's a good guy, not that he's women. If they charge him with murder, he'd have to be found not guilty because there's no murder. It's not, do we like him? We'll make the facts fit the charge.
Right.
What we say in this country is, so you think it's great that this dirtbag got off? Yeah, because there was no evidence of the crime.
There was no evidence of the crime.
Oliver Wendell Holmes said, better that 1,000 people, guilty people, walk free than one innocent man be convicted. And that's supposedly.
No, there was no evidence of a crime. These people went in there, busting his house because he likes to have freak offs with his tissy roll. I would be pissed. Hi, honey. Hi, baby. Love you too. That's my husband, Eric. Little bit of sleep. She's tired from when I went and got my nails done, honey. So she's asleep. And I don't really like them. I should have got them pointed. It's my hubby. Those are to my hubby. Kisses to you, love bug. You like them? They look good. Yeah, they're gold. I went gold because I wanted to do yellow with the skirt I'm going to be wearing on Saturday. So, yeah. Are you working hard, honey? Oh, highly sensitive says hello to you. And so does Snowdrop. And so did Demon Dictator Eric. Said hello. Okay, bye, hun. See you later. See you when you get home. We're gonna eat leftovers. And then we have Polishes too. Not Polish, but hot links. So no eating out. Wow. Lionel was breaking it down.
The way it is. And I don't have to tell you about your country or others as well, but when the justice system goes, that's it. See, this is the final bulwark, the buffer between a kind of a rogue sovereign and the people. It's the only thing. It's where people get off the street and they say, oh, no. This is, we have the grand jury system, which is a joke, and a petty jury, which is what this is. And you've got people off the street who last week did nothing. They were just regular folks, or 2 weeks ago, or 9 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And now they stopped. They told the federal government, no, And I mean, bitch slapped them. Pardon my French. Not racketeering, nothing. And the piddliest case they threw on and go, we need one more. Mann Act. It's also called the white slavery statute. They got Jack Johnson, the black boxer, R. Kelly, Chuck Berry, all black, by the way. Famous cases of that. This is a century old. Crossing state lines with prostitutes?
Yeah.
What? Oh, this is incredible.
Yeah. That's that stupid stuff right there. He done messed around. Okay, love. See you when you get home. Love you. Eric, remember to like the video. Thanks, Snowdrop. Guys, this is a bunch of BS. I just would be upset. Like, you guys he should have been. That's what I'm saying. You're going to charge him from taking a escort, from going from one state to the next? That's your charge? That's that stupid. That's so stupid. You're going to charge someone for leaving the state to go somewhere else, and because they're going to have a freak off. They wasted time and money on this. They sure did. And they act like Diddy was this criminal, this big time criminal. Like he was messing with young kids and stuff. But nobody in the room but him and his Tootsie Roll and the rest of the people. Make sure you're subscribed, honey. I'm sure he is.
Right, folks. While Lionel gathers his breath, let me just give a quick summary and we will go over to your questions. Lots of questions have come in. So the summary is, as Lionel called it, prosecutorial overreach. They didn't get any of the main charges.
Prosecutorial overreach.
We got 2 minor charges of the transportation of the people of the night across the state lines. Now the media's got this hyperbolic headline that if Diddy gets the super aggravated max and they run each charge after the other, that's a maximum of 20 years. If they run them together, it's a maximum of 10 years. And the most asked question right now is, what does Lionel think he's going to get? So you got to look what the presumptive is. What is the kind of average sentence? Then you got his back time taken off. I'm going to guess that he's going to do a couple of years.
12 to 15 months, something like that, minus 10 months for credit for time served. When you are in jail and you're not allowed out and you're being held because they won't give you a bail, and you're there, you get a day-for-day credit. Now, in the federal system,
they did not let him out for bail thinking that he was going to do something. Remember? He was a flight risk. Exactly, Debbie. Exactly. If the escort was taken against their will, and they were not. It wasn't taken against their will. That's what I'm saying. If I was on the jury, I would have been having a hard time proving any of it. He needs a membership. He does. You're right, Nicola. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Everybody, let's put some hearts in the chat for Lisa for my super chat. Love the music. Sky's the limit for you, sweet lady. Oh, that is mwah. Big kiss for you, sweetheart. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, let's put some hearts in the chat for Lisa for me. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I am just in shock here. Thank you so much, Lisa. I appreciate it. And I also appreciate the compliment. Very nice. Okay, highly sensitive. According to Lino, they may give him 12 months time served and let him out. That's one option. And then he did say 10 years. Let's rewind what he said.
Diddy gets the super aggravated max and they run each charge after the other, that's a maximum of 20 years. If they run them together, it's a maximum of 10 years. And the most asked question right now is, what does Lionel think he's going to get? So you got to look what the presumptive is. What is the kind of average sentence? Then you got Diddy's back time taken off. I'm going to guess that Diddy's going to do a couple of years.
12 to 15 months, something like that,
12 to
minus
15 months.
10 months for credit for time served. When you are in
12 to
jail and
15
you're not
months.
allowed out and you're being held because they won't give you a bail,
12 to 15 months. That is nothing. That's nothing. And credit for time served, which basically means he may not do any time and they may let him out by end of day today.
but you're there. You get a day for day credit. Now, in the federal system, we don't have parole. You have a presumptive state. You do basically 85% of whatever it is you get. But before, and they always say, every case, if something is, let's say, some statutes have a maximum of life, some have a maximum, sometimes of, like treason is punishable by death. It's not going to get the death penalty. I don't know about you, but if you have in the UK a speeding ticket, the maximum is a year in the jail. Well, nobody gets a year, but that's the maximum. In our country, misdemeanors, all misdemeanors are punishable by up to a year in the county jail. This is state level.
Community
Felonies
service.
or anything over a year.
I
That's
would
it.
like those
So if I
charges.
decide in some states, for example, if you steal a fire extinguisher, it's a felony. If you steal 1,000 pieces of oranges, it's a felony. If you steal a cow, it's a felony because we say it is. Now, nobody has ever done a year for stealing,
Think
a
you
fire
should have an
extinguisher.
ankle
But if you
monitor?
wanted to, theoretically, the maximum you could ever give somebody is 5 years. Though nobody has ever. So there always
The
is a
max
maximum.
you can get is 5.
There is a.
He has no
And
prior.
people forget this. The only thing that makes something a crime, and again, I can only speak for here, is that it theoretically presents itself as a possibility of jail or incarceration as a penalty. If there's no chance of jail, it's not a crime. It's a civil infraction, an infraction. Speeding in our country is not a crime. You cannot possibly go to jail or prison. Remember, misdemeanor for jail, prison for felonies, at all. Aggravated or reckless driving, you can. DWI, drink driving, or whatever you call it. So these are just rudimentary things. So what the judge is going to do is he's going to look at this. Remember, federal judges don't care. Plus, the judge recognizes the fact that he looks like the biggest
Wow,
jerk.
be right
Even though
back,
they're
guys.
appointed for life, federal judges never run for re-election. They are in for life. But they have a reputation. So here's this judge who's going to say, I've got this piece of crap case that obviously the jury said, and I'm going to pound him on Mann Act violations? No, I look like I'm part of the feds. He's going to say, no, if that's all you've got, I'm going to look at this as if it were all its own, because it is. It's all its own. It's all they have. He's going to look at the sentencing guideline. You've seen it. It's a piece of paper, and they just fill in a bunch. You start adding, you just check mark, and you turn it over. You got 100 to 135. You turn it over, 12 to 15 years, or 12 to 15 months, let's say. First-time offender, never been arrested, never violated parole, no violence in this case. Remember, Mann Act. Forget before, there was no violence in this supposed transportation. There were no firearms involved. Maybe, because remember, whatever you think about in the background doesn't matter, because that wasn't the subject of the adjudication. You can't read into it. You can't say, yeah, but I know other facts. No.
What's going on with
The judge is
her?
going to say this and say, based upon this, he sends the information to the prison system, the probation offices, the folks who review it, and they interview people. They interview the prison. They look at what's the most feasible. He lives in New York or lives in California.
Baby
What's
oil
near? They did it with Martha
in the
Stewart. They did it with Ghislaine.
Scoop
What's
him
nearby?
before he
What would best
starts
suit him?
his freak
Minimum security, medium security.
Okay,
what would be the-
'cause I
They do
don't
all these calculations,
stop
and they'll
doing
tell him, okay, 12 a year. All of this already considering 10 months a knockoff. He is going to be the rock star
Yep.
because he did his time. It's almost better. We love the fact Suge Knight will never see the light of day, most probably. I don't know what the sentence is, but probably. I think he's going to have a hard time. So this guy went, he kept his mouth shut. He's a convicted felon. I don't know what that does to his musical career. He never ratted anybody out. He's bigger, badder than ever. Can you imagine his story? Who gets the first interview? Who gets the first interview?
He's going to parlay this whole thing now to take his career to the next level. And my understanding is because the bigger charges he was found innocent of, they were the charges that could have enabled the government to liquidate his assets.
Right.
So now he gets to keep all his assets as well.
Wow.
Yes. And what he does is, let me tell you my story. I started off with this and this. At my height, and I'll tell you right now, I was worth whatever $1 million. They came after me. And remember, this is what I would tell to my audience. Who is his audience? You and me? No. I would say, this is what happens to a black man who acts uppity, who dares to become too successful. They came after me. They came after me because it killed them to see how successful I was. Yep. All of my money. I've got my family. I never asked the government for anything. Everything I did, I made. And they wanted to go after it and take it. I lost this contract. They wanted my work. And all these vultures, they wanted to buy my catalog or buy my
government.
And baby oil ad. That thing is let me tell you something. I know people
messing with me
somehow
for no reason.
He's going to do, he can't mock that obviously. But anyway, let me finish. So he'll just say, this is my story. I'm now fighting for my life, for my children. I've got mortgage, this legal defense. What am I charged with? This has hit me with millions and millions of dollars. Great legal team. I don't begrudge them. What did I do? The government doesn't pay anything. They go back to work.
Right.
They go back to work and I've got to go back to work. And now watch what happens. My community is going to either turn their back on me. Am I radioactive? Are they going to come to my defense? Did you see anybody come to a court that day to help me? Nope.
He had
they did the same thing to Alec Baldwin. Remember Alec Baldwin? Nothing.
Nobody supported him. The only person that supported him was Kanye West. Did you see that? Fat Joe didn't come and say hello. Nobody. Okay. What is that about? How do you think his friends and people in the industry stayed away and didn't say, we're praying for you, at least praying for you? I mean, I would have said something. Okay, demon dictator. You know, I would have said something. Oh, media, you think it wasn't regular baby oil when they forensics would have tested it? I thought they tested the baby oil. And Cassie said that they didn't do anything to the baby oil. I don't know. Sorry, I don't mean to eat while I'm on here. Just a little hungry.
Alec Baldwin was Martin Scorsese or Ron Howard or Clint Eastwood, they would have been outside. I was abandoned by everybody because they wanted to see me fail. Not only the government, but my competitors. Because the only way you're going to derail me, the only way.
Me too.
To grind.
I wonder too.
You didn't do it. You didn't get away with it.
They can't come out with nothing.
Bigger and badder. And you know who I have to ask for that?
That would be pissed me off.
The people, the citizens. Let me tell you something. God bless the USA. He should. And also embrace, do this one. I'm going to tell you something. You're going to go nuts. I'm going to say, and you know what? I understand what President Trump goes through now. I understand it. We may not see eye to eye politically, but I never understood what persecution meant. And if they can go after the president of the United States and get nothing, and me, who's next? Now, the only reason you know about me is because I'm famous. But when they go after you, you're not going to have the platform I have. What's wrong with this country? What's wrong? We say we're the best country in the world. Are we really? I mean, this is just, and watch what happens. Watch the Harvey Levins and watch all these people who basically wanted him. They wanted him crushed.
They did.
They're vultures. They're sick, sadistic jackals. They're like vultures. They look for carrion. They circle the injured and the wounded. And they have no interest whatsoever in justice. And they're lawyers, supposedly.
I think that was AI they said.
Media coverage with all these two-bit, half-baked nincompoops who never tried a case in their life. Who come out and basically say,
what about Jaguar?
Pro law enforcement commentator or a pro defense.
What about Jag? And her conspiracy. Didn't she say she had some tapes and she was dropping off some women at the place for the freak off? She would, that's what she told Pierce Morgan. Piers Morgan and Jaguar. Where's the interview? On there talking stupid. Whose is this?
Have one person in common. Everyone knew he was the devil.
Everyone wanted to go to Diddy's white parties when they were happening. If I got an invite, I would go. But there is a party within a party.
Jay-Z and Beyonce are not here, unfortunately, to sponsor.
Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters.
She's saying a lot of things that could be considered libelous.
I think if Diddy cooperates and gives up some big names of actual crimes they committed, that'd be a way of actually lessening the amount of time that he does and possibly even walking away.
I absolutely do not see him being victorious.
Courtney
in a
Burgess
criminal
said
trial.
he has
This
to
has
take
been a fist
two.
of tyranny that has been punching for decades. It must.
You. You've been called a whistleblower. You knew Sean Diddy Combs for a long time. You attended a number of his infamous parties. And in 2022, you made headlines after comments where you called him a sex trafficker. And in response, you were called crazy and jealous. Do you feel vindicated
Yes.
by the events of the last few weeks?
No, not at all. Because he's just the beginning. Until him and his cohorts are all held to account publicly and legally, the victims, they're not safe.
How bad was it?
That's what I care about. I care about the victims.
No, I understand. How bad was it, do you think, what was going on?
I'm going to tell you right now that me, as a woman who has been in the industry for over 30 years, I've been performing live since I was 13. My first handler was McKinley Horton. I come to find out 25 years later that a scar that was on his face with a very elaborate story he gave me was put there by a woman who he assaulted. To live through these things and hear your elders in the business, people like Patti LaBelle say, just avoid him, honey. And being taught to be just avoid him, honey. It's not good enough. Not when you live through these things.
This is a chat GPT for Airbnb. This new income assistant is trained to find.
What he does, he starts little fires everywhere, forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away without a response. That changes now, Sean. You must respond. You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally
Our nails are
and
ugly.
privately. Sean Carter. This has been a fist of tyranny that has been punching through our culture and our society for decades. It
What?
must stop.
There's been obviously a lot of
Cruelty-free artistry.
right. There's been a lot of rumor mill about what has happened in the rap world. A lot of allegations that the misogyny in the lyrics clearly was based on a general misogyny towards women away from the music, and that clearly seems to have been borne out by these charges against Diddy. Which, if he's found guilty of all this, he's never coming out of prison. How dangerous do you think?
Thank God.
How dangerous do you think he is as a person?
I think he's one of the most dangerous people I've ever met. A lot of people have been questioning, well, she doesn't really know him. She has no knowledge of him. She doesn't have a picture with him. I'm smarter than Claudia Jordan. I would never take a picture with the devil.
You are such
Everyone
a liar.
He was the devil. He's been the devil for 30 years. He's been covered and protected by not only Clive Davis, but Lucian Grange.
Set the standard with a practice partner you can count on.
That he may start revealing things about other people?
He has no choice. His ego and his drug addiction won't allow him to do anything different. Anybody who thinks
had that right.
He's not going to talk is crazy. The simple fact that he's not saying more now only means that the people who have been protecting him all along, who put him in position to be such a horror to the Black community, still find value in him. He's got everybody on tape. They all know it. It's a mess.
For those who were never at these freak-off parties, what were they like?
See, this is the thing. Everything that I'm about to say to you is not my firsthand knowledge. It is my firsthand witness account experience. I was a sex worker. I was a dominatrix before I got my record deal. That's how I know how the dark world and the sex world and the entertainment world run hand in hand. That's why the movie Blink Twice is so important. Salute to Zoe Kravitz. The sex workers that I have worked with throughout the years and continue to work with even to this day have worn hidden cameras.
Wow.
I have my own tapes.
Ooh.
I've seen what they do.
Right.
The ritualistic behaviors, the drugging, putting girls in the suitcases.
Oh my God.
Dumping them in alleyways. It's horrifying.
She's just making up.
And it's all done.
She's
under
lying.
the protection of, this is going to be paid off. There's another NDA. This is going to be.
Jack lies on Diddy.
It seems to have been something that a lot of people knew about,
crazy.
but people were simply too scared to talk about.
Everyone knows. And every person that's sitting there trying to act surprised knows very well. The whole point of this, like Cat Williams said when he sat with Shay Shay earlier this year, the whole point of this is for them in a coordinated effort to pretend like none of it is real for the public's
Yeah,
perception.
he did.
Everyone knows what's going on, and it's been going on for years. It's been going on before Diddy.
She's a wannabe, and
People keep looking at him like he's the Sputnik that came out of nowhere. This is someone who was designed to be what he is. We got to stop making Diddies. And if we're going to do that, then we got to go back. We got to go back to even further, the mentors of these people. Because Diddy was taught how to do what he does systematically. And Clive Davis has been his greatest teacher.
Ooh.
Look, Clive Davis is not here to respond to that, nor is Jay-Z. But a lot of people, famous people in the music industry, have been notable, like I say, by their silence so far. It's also been notable that since the Me Too campaign began in 2017, the music industry has largely avoided the same scrutiny that other industries have had. Why do you think that is?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Since Me Too began in 2017, the music industry has largely avoided the same kind of scrutiny that other industries have had. Why do you think that is?
Well, because the Me Too movement was a ruse.
He's blowing the leads.
It was a setup. It was a scam. I'm saying that now, publicly. Dream Hampton spearheaded the Surviving R. Kelly campaign, which fueled the Me Too campaign. And that was all funded by Sean Carter to make sure that Robert Kelly went to jail. Get his lick back. Why is nobody understanding that Dream Hampton was being financed and ran by Sean Carter? They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly. How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing
blatant lies
to see what's right there. If the Me Too movement were real, why aren't they speaking now? They've also been very quiet in this time of the Diddler's downfall.
The Diddler's downfall.
Jaguar,
yes, they're on vacation.
If this goes to court, Jaguar, do you think that the world is going to be shocked by what comes out?
Oh, absolutely. I just don't know why they are. It's been happening in front of everyone's faces for decades. For decades.
How many victims?
What's the difference between me and Judy Garland?
Made it up.
Social media.
That's your voice.
How many victims?
There was none for her.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. Thousands.
Thousands of victims.
I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself.
Thousands.
I have 3 victims right now.
She's got
who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well.
She's talking about
they're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping
Porter?
people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to.
Ready? Yeah. Excited? Yeah. All right, here we go. Oh my God.
Talk about Pierce.
Listen, like I said, Jay-Z and Beyonce are not here, unfortunately, to respond to that.
I know. I'm just being honest with you.
You're perfectly entitled to your views, obviously. Kim Porter, a new book claims that Diddy may have been involved in her early death. What do you think of that?
I think people should really look into that more.
She was passionate with them live.
I am friends with Albie Shore. I love him. I love his children. I knew Kim. We used to all hang out together at the Kit Kat Club back in the mid-90s when Diddy was first starting his reign.
Yeah, Jack.
I watched that whole thing happen. And everything that Albert has been through, every attempt on his life that has been ignored by the authorities, it all leads back to Diddy. And everyone knows it. The wiretapping of the phones, putting air tag on children during visits. These are normal practices that these people do.
Jaguar, I've got to leave it there. I really appreciate you joining me. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. And thank you for caring.
I do care. Thank you very much. Well, I'm joined now by the host of Vlad TV, DJ Vlad. DJ Vlad, it's pretty horrifying listening to these testimonies. What did you make of what you just heard?
Well, Jaguar Wright is known to be a conspiracy theorist. I don't really co-sign anything that she says. I've never had her on my show, and I don't have any plans to have her on my show.
You don't believe her?
She's got an album in 20 years. And
she said, I don't believe nothing. She said she's a conspiracy theorist. And he said, I would not have her on my show. Hello, Mom Star. Yes, Mom Star. I know that it was not Maggie who said it. It happened on Maggie's platform, though. But no, Jaguar said it. That is correct. Maggie never said anything about CPS. And for her to be my friend, I thought she would do more. You know, I thought she would do more, but I don't think she was. She is a good storyteller. She's in the wrong profession. She should write them books that are fiction.
a lot of this stuff is just stuff she's heard, things she's making up, and so forth.
Things she's heard.
Thank you very much.
She's making up.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for caring.
I do care.
Making
Thank you very
up
much.
stuff.
Well, I'm joined now by the host of Vlad TV, DJ Vlad. DJ Vlad, it's pretty horrifying listening to these testimonies. What did you make of what you just heard?
Well, Jaguar Wright is known to be a conspiracy theorist. I don't really co-sign anything that she says. I've never had her on my show, and I don't have any plans to have her on my show.
You don't believe her?
She's got an album in 20 years. And a lot of this stuff is just stuff she's heard, things she's making up, and so forth. I'm not saying that there aren't serious things that Diddy may have done, but yeah, I can't co-sign anything that Jaguar Wright is saying. If that's your question.
Well, I mean, obviously, since we last spoke, there have now been these charges against Diddy, which are incredibly serious. You didn't think at the time we last spoke that he was likely to face these charges. Are you surprised it's come to this?
I'm not surprised, because I feel that law enforcement in general is reactionary. I think that when you look at high-profile individuals, their arrests, indictments usually come after a documentary, a big TV show, or in Diddy's case, there was this huge lawsuit that Cassie filed, and everyone got to see all the details and all the attention that came to it. So,
okay, this is where he started to irritate my soul. when he's saying, as he's making, in my opinion, he's trying to make some sort of statement by acting as if the only reason, you got to look at what he's saying and why he's saying it. He's acting as if the reason that these victims are able to come out, or they have come out, let me say it like that, is solely because there was some sort of documentary, or there was some sort of something that was made public. And so now the federal government.
Okay.
That's irrefutable proof. You can't, and particularly people who are violent. It's like
the surprise that it actually happened, because you've seen this happen over and over again. R. Kelly, Harvey Weinstein, all the attention that they got, and then now Diddy. So yeah, I mean, this is ultimately the world that we live in. But he'll have his day in court, and his lawyer said that he's not going to take a plea deal, because I think a plea deal at this point is probably going to be very heavy-handed, probably 20 years plus. So it makes sense for him to go to court. But we'll ultimately see what happens. Because we haven't really seen
True friends do not treat people like that, Mom Star. Maggie wasn't a true friend. She betrayed me twice, treated me like crap twice, and she's dragging my name as we speak. Am I dragging her? Yes. Your use of friend, associate maybe. A friend sticks closer than a brother. No disloyalty, no cheap digs with a friend. It's a fake friend. Hello, my lady, everyone. I'm just joining. Didn't get uninterrupted sleep because my asthma is giving me grief. Oh, sorry about that. Did a couple of treatments since 2:30 a.m. Didn't get asthma until 53 in Alabama. That's interesting. I had asthma when I was younger, and I had to use the Primatine mist, and I had to get certain inhalers and stuff. Tropical life at 53. Wow. So sorry about that. Okay, thank you. Just wanted to clear, Maggie. Just want to make it clear. Maggie said no to Jag when CPS was brought up. So we are clear that Maggie did not say about CPS. Thanks. No, she did not. Maggie did not say anything about CPS, but the next day she dragged my name. She dragged me and dragged me and dragged me. Then she made fun of me because I called the police on Jag. Not her, but Jag. I called the police to report it, that someone was threatening CPS on my child and that they were online doing this. So I did report her to the authorities. And Maggie thought it was funny and thought it was a joke. So I hold her accountable. I do. I hold her accountable for that because she was supposed to be my friend. Yeah, I'm not really talking about Maggie anymore. I'm trying to stay away from her. I'm trying to stay away from bringing her name up, her in my atmosphere, and so on and so on. Yeah, I've already was clear about she didn't say it. Her friend said it. Her friend said it, and it happened on her platform. And I say she allowed it to happen. Just because she told Jag not to go there doesn't mean that she didn't. So I blame Maggie for that incident as well. I found her culpable. I found her a part of that. She wasn't defending me, trying to say, don't say that about your kid. As a matter of fact, she joked about it the next day. And how about her talking about my parenting skills as we speak? She knows nothing about me. She wished she knew, but she doesn't. She's a sociopath. I be here with two, and I also with Maggie. I don't condone the CPS stuff with the kids. Yeah, I didn't condone it either. That's why I called the police. I called the police and let them know that it happened on Maggie's channel with a woman named Jaguar. So just in case they needed to go and find out who said it and where it was, Maggie had a copy of it. A salt pipe for asthma, natural, and the salt acts as a antibacteria for your lungs. I can see that. Try lemon and salt. Lemon with salt on it. I used to eat lemon and salt a lot. And my mom would make me a hot toddy, and that would open this up a lot. But Vicks Vapor Rub works too. The Vicks machine. Yeah, that kind of helps you breathe. As long as she's not saying CPS stuff. Nope, she's just saying that I'm a bad mom and that I hide from my child. She's a very nasty individual. The things that comes out of her mouth is disgusting. It's vulgar, it's disgusting, it's demeaning, it's nasty, calling people excrement, cunts and bitches and fuck you. Like, it's really disgusting. She's disgusting. Yeah. I would not be okay with that, and Maggie was not okay with the CPS stuff. There's a line not to be crossed. I don't know, how much was she disappointed in it? She thought it was funny that I called the police. She said, Jag. Just kept calling her name. Yeah, she crossed more than one line. And what's interesting, Mom Star, is that she tries to pretend like she is innocent in this situation. And they did blame me for Ada. They did. Did you hear about the Ada situation? How they blame that I helped put her in a coma? Then when I was defending myself, Jack said something about, I wish I had your address so we could call CPS on you. And Maggie was like, Jag. But it still came out. Yeah, she's done a lot. Maggie's done enough for me for a lifetime. A lifetime. She dragged me. She called me names. She turned against me and called me empathetic. that I didn't have any empathy, and she really is the one with no empathy. And she's a nasty piece of work. The way she goes after Danny and myself and other content creators is disgusting. She goes after every content creator there is out there in the tea sector. She's been arguing with, going back and forth with. Auntie Mickey had to tell her, listen, do something productive. Be a pillar of society. Don't be this person. No, why would she condoning it? No, she didn't say go Jag go. Yeah, I agree with you. She didn't. But what she did do was continue to be Jag's friend. She joked about it. She joked about me calling the police because of CPS. And she thought it was funny. And there was nothing funny about it. And she shouldn't have joked. She shouldn't have never even talked about that. She shouldn't even mention police or anything because it happened on her platform. So I do hold her responsible in a small way. I do, because we were friends. And for someone to threaten to call CPS on you is a real threat. And she called her friend. So Jag was her friend. Was it good that she stayed friends with Jag after Jag said that about me? Leave it to her. That would have been, that's it. That's the last straw. I would never have anyone do that. Not on my panel. So no. Yeah, I was clear as possible. I still find her somewhat responsible. It happened on her platform, and she didn't get rid of Jag. She didn't drop her off the panel, which is what she should have done. Removed her from the panel and said, I'm not having this. No, her calling Jag's name is not defending me. No, so she was wrong, Mom Star. Let's get that straight. She let it happen on her platform. She didn't reprimand Jag. What, calling her name several times is going to change the situation? I think she should have did more. Right, saying I'm being clear, repeating herself over and over and over again to make people believe what she's saying is correct. Hello, Salome. Hello, Loretta. Is it a very heavy vibe today? I'm not feeling very heavy. I'm sorry. Also, Maggot is totally devoid of all that is good. That's true. That's true. Mom Star, how come you don't see this person as being evil, disrespectful, and trashy? Why is it okay that Maggie goes after all these content creators? Shouldn't she take some responsibility for the BS that she does? Or is she just innocent and everybody's after her? Everybody's after me. Everybody's after me. I don't know what's wrong with everyone, but everyone's after me. Maybe because you called them a bitch? Maybe because you struck their channel? What about her striking my channel 4 times? She shouldn't have never done that. Oh, but she took it off. So what does that do? Give her a gold star because she did something that she think was noble? No, she shouldn't have been touching my stuff in the first place because she lied and said that we could use it. And her fight is with Danny. No, but she took it to the streets. She was going to have us all fight. Now she's running around looking for friends. I just feel like that, like she's looking for someone to back her up, condone her behavior. It's inconceivable. Hello, Ryzen. Oh, that's a good idea for asthma. Everybody has some ideas about asthma. I'm talking about Ada. No, let's be clear. I can't get any clearer than this. It happened on her platform. She shouldn't have never allowed it. She should have removed Jag from the platform and said, I do not condone this behavior. But did she do that? No. She kept her on and continued to allow her to be nasty. So as long as we're clear on that, long as we're clear that when she did say the CPS, Maggie did nothing. She didn't kick her off her platform. She didn't say that was disgusting. Don't ever do that again. No. Not able to move on, new channels, new content, but she's stuck on the bull. Not impressive. Take her off repeat. Old song now. She's boring. She doesn't have any original content. She can't come up with any original content. Danny is her content. It's interesting to see her try to go after Danny the way she is. And, but you support someone that is disgusting. You do, Mom Star. You support someone that is disgusting. Someone that helped perpetuate the Ada lie. The Ada scheme, someone that didn't do her research. No, it wasn't funny. That's why I call the police. She's calling the police on me? She can't call the police on me. Oh, yes, I can. I remember a while back, Beverly Rhodes advised her, Maggot, in the chat, to be careful with her words as they have repercussions and will be bad. Yeah, her words does have repercussions. Look at the way she goes around ranting and raving like a raging bull. It's worthless to even try to reason with anyone attempting to stick up for anything Maggot has done. Maggot was a participant in all of the hate, and now she is even worse than she was then. Maggot was a participant in all the hate campaign. But Mom Star, all you can say is I just want to get the CPS clear. She was rude, nasty, and disrespectful to me. And if you're having a hard time seeing that and can't see past the CPS, then I don't know what you're looking at. Because if you can justify the rest of the things that she does, it's astonishing. Hello, Mira. Hello, Michelle. She ignored it as usual. We got a fight going on. We do. Yeah, he did get away with it. He got away with, they didn't have a case. The prosecution needs to be ashamed. Didn't do what? Freak offs and have people go to different states. When people got in that plane, got in there willingly. Wow. No. To me, not in the way that she should have. She didn't reprimand her in the way that she should have. She just called her name a few times to tell her to stop. That's not reprimanding anyone. That's just like telling a child, don't do that. That's not nice. A little slap on the hand. That's what she got. Maggie was not taking up for me. Hello, USA. Why don't maggot supporters always bringing up old stuff? Seems like they are stuck to LL have already addressed that several times, over and over and over again. It was a nightmare. No, she should have did more. Not also feeling happy about all going on. I would be concerned. I would definitely be concerned, Mom Star. Yeah, I don't like her. I don't hate her, but I sure don't like her. Yeah, I don't like her at all. She is responsible. She's responsible of everything that happened to me. When she hung up in my face saying, oh, you have no compassion and all you worried about is the $5,000 or whatever, and not about Ada being in a coma, and lied about that too. I'm not offended. I'm not. What's interesting is that she really wants me to admit that Maggie had nothing to do with the CPS situation, and she had full control over the CPS situation. She should have removed Jack from the panel, but she didn't do that, Mom Star. She just told her not to do that again. Jack, no, don't do that. Oh, let me turn it up. There we go. Yeah, Maggie would go back to Jag in a split second. I think she wants to go back to Jag. I think she's missing Jag. I think she's trying to get through Jag through Auntie Leah by being really nice to her. Mom Star, be careful because Maggie doesn't like people over here that supports me. And I don't want you to get in some type of trouble. Someone that would call CPS on a friend should not be trusted at all because they would do it again. Exactly. Exactly. Just like she struck my channel. She didn't do anything to Jag. I feel like she let her say that about me without even doing anything. This is clear evidence how stuck maggot supporters are. These comments are some comment over and over, although LL has cleared it up for 10 minutes. Exactly. Explaining it. And that doesn't make me like Maggot more or less of what happened. I just don't like her at all. I think she's a despicable person. I think she is a liar, a hypocrite, a sociopath. I think there's a lot of mental things going on with her. And yeah. Mom Star. So what is the end goal of windmilling for Maggot? Lady L is supposed to be her friend now? It's pointless discussion. It really is. Like, what's the point of you telling me that she was trying to tell Jag to stop? Like, what's the point? Bye, Mom Star. Hello, Priest. Oh, you didn't change it again. Carl. Hello, Carl. I spot you. Maggot Maggot's chat is responsible for her downfall. Her supporters sat there live after live and encouraged her nasty self-destruction behavior. Congratulations. Yes. How can you like that, Mom Star? What is it about her that you like? Her mouth is filthy. And the way she talks about people is disgusting. It's disgusting. It's like crazy disgusting. It's almost funny that someone said Maggot reprimanded Jag. It is funny because she wasn't really doing that. Because if she was, Jag would have got on her butt and told her, I am your elder. No, she didn't mean that. She wasn't trying to protect me from CPS or Jag. I see you saying Maggie said about CPS when you didn't. I go now. Night, everyone. Yes, she did. It was on her panel. It happened. Don't see her being this coming to my rescue. Sorry. That didn't happen. You like Lady Letitia, but calling her out, and I've seen your comments towards LL in the chat, exchanging with others who are here under the pretense of caring for LL. Yeah, I think she just needs somewhere to go and really don't have anywhere to go because her leader is running around. Yeah, her chat is responsible. Christine, all her mods are responsible for her behavior, her bad behavior. And for anyone who has any doubts about maggot supporters being behind her evil acts, all you have to do is hit replay and read the chat. It's all there. It's crazy. It's unbelievable. They told me that I was my husband's mistress. My husband was my mistress. I'm his mistress. I'm a good woman. Yeah, I'm a kept woman. That's stupid stuff. Yeah, I'm ashamed of them. I'm ashamed of her whole entourage that she got going on over there. It's a mess. Yep, that's right, media. She likes focusing on revenge, which ruins the soul. She's all about vengeance. Vengeance is mine. I'm going to get you. I'm coming for you. Oh, and Lady Letitia, Senor Lady Letitia, that stupid stuff. And you're a maggot. You're corroded and crappy inside and out. You suck the blood from people. Is it too loud? Let me know if the music is too loud. Oh, you do. Hello, V Goddess. It's acting as an agent of chaos. It likes it. I think it just misses maggot. Yeah, I just want to be clear. I want to be clear that Maggie didn't call us say CPS. Like it makes a difference. Like it makes a difference. It's all in one. One, Jag and her were one. Maggot's chat is still cheering her on, even now when she's basically canceled and on the verge of being canceled again. It's sick. It is sick. Mom Stars reporting back to the piglets. We call them hatchlings. Yeah. She's like, I like Auntie Leah. I like Auntie Leah. Auntie Leah don't like you. She's nice to me. That's stupid. Stupid stuff. I'm not going to hold you lovely people too much longer. Yeah, they try. They create chaos and drama everywhere they go. She needs to change her name. Hello, Cheryl. Good to see you. It appears that she has suggested her aunt in Florida may have played a central role in the 2023 operation of Nightingale scandal, which reportedly involved the distribution of fraudulent nurses' degrees. Wow, that is so hurtful. In transcripts, as a result of this claims, it is understood that her mother's nursing license is now under investigation. Should it be determined that the credentials were obtained fraudulently. Oh, she should be under investigation. She said her mom was a nurse, and she said that recently. She's never said her mom was a nurse until recently. But that's interesting that her aunt is, creating fake degrees, nurse degrees. Why would that be a good idea? You don't know what the hell you're doing. And then you're going to go in there and pretend like you know what you're doing, and you don't. Putting people's lives in danger. It's disgusting. Oh, you're learning cards too, Babette. The matter will reportedly be referred to the local authorities. Is she already under investigation? We will also be conducting a review of her credentials. Good for you guys. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. I got a fake degree. She is a gift. Good. Maggie needs to be investigated. Yes, she does. Hello, Pat. Because they're just like her. You got to be just like your master if you are going to treat people that way. You are going to, if you treat people with disrespect and nastiness and think it's okay, then it says something about you as a person that allows it to happen. It did happen, Lady Letitia. Maggie called out Jaguar. And why are you calling Maggie a maggot? Because she is a maggot. Did you hear what she called me? Are you serious, Mom Star? Are you really over here defending her? Don't do that. If you're going to be over here, be respectful. Don't be over here defending her, because she can't be defended. She's indefendable. She's a maggot because of the things that she does. That's the real deal. The real deal. Let me tell you why she's a maggot. Maggot. A maggot is the larva stage of a fly. They are typically soft, bounding, legless and white and gray in color, with a pointed head and a blunt rear end. Maggots primarily feed on decaying organic matter. So this is why I believe she's a maggot, because she deals with decay. She does. She's rotten. She is. What comes out of her mouth is maggot formed. It's maggot formed. I think that should sum it up. Yeah. That's why I call her maggot, because she talks nasty. Decaying stuff comes out of her mouth. Nasty stuff comes out of her mouth. She's disgusting. Why do you follow her? Excuse me. Why are you one of her minions? Why do you go over there and listen to that stuff? Why do you condone her behavior? That's the question. How and why do you condone her behavior? She has no respect for anyone. She's disrespectful. She's a hypocrite. The list just keeps going. If anyone needs reminding of the lengths and depths maggot goes to in retaliation when her behavior is pointed out to her, watch her 3 lives following OJ Patrice, calling her out on Stone Paxton's channel. Yep, and calling her a BBL. And calling us old. Calling me old. Oh, we got the Priestess of Light Oracle. Wow. Because she lives in a garbage bag, Mom Star, she's a maggot. What's hard to understand about that? She does live in a garbage can. She did go down up in there. When Maggot was striking innocent people out of spite, her chat was cheering her on, encouraging her to strike more. Now her supporters are advocating for her. She's too late. Yeah, I think it's over for Maggot. For more information, search 2023 Operations Nightingale Enforcement Action. According to Maggie, her aunt in Florida was the mastermind behind the scheme. Gee whiz. Is she in jail? Hey, Cheryl. I wonder why the heck she brings up fraud in her family. It isn't cool, and responsible people may report things to authorities. Yep, they should report her mom. She said her mom was a nurse. Did your mom go to school, and what school did she go to? What nursing school did she graduate from? Or did she just get her certificate from your aunt? Makes no difference that it wasn't Maggot said about CPS. You know she didn't say it. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't know why. I think that bothers you. I think that's bothering you. After I called the police, it wasn't bothering me no more because I knew they had it under control. They said if she looks like she wanted to talk to me again or say anything to me again, then they would take action. I said, well, he said, we don't need anything. All we need is her ID, her handler. So yeah, I don't care. I told you how I felt about it. Take it or leave it. Fake degrees. Maggie's going to take down her whole family with her childish behavior. She is. She is. Her behavior is unacceptable. This was intel provided directly from Maggot. I think I heard that before. Attention. Media, Cheryl, are you saying Maggot's mother nursing license was obtained in the States? She is a nurse in Canada. Interesting, media. Is she a nurse at all? Oop. So that explains why she was okay with Murph's lies. He has a PhD. Golden Queen is my moon stars in Aquarius now. Oh, hello, V Goddess. Was you on there last night? V Goddess, was you on Maggie's channel? Golden's channel last night. Bye, Priest. Bye, Carl. Come back and visit. Mom Star, sounds like you guys love chaos, drama, and mess. They admitted to tag themselves numerous times. It's entertaining to them, and now they don't want her canceled. What are you guys going to do if she gets canceled? Love you too, Carl. See you later. Thanks for coming by. The Lying Owl. People work hard for their degrees. Okay. I know I did, and I owe money on that sucker. They need to just dissolve all the loans. Ooh, wee. While her mother's credentials were obtained in Quebec, that does not necessarily mean they were obtained legitimately. Exactly. Perfect example of someone that doesn't know the audience. Good maggot follower. Good maggot follower. Mirror, she's a parasite of other creators' content. What original content does she have? None. Zero, zilch. She plays Denat. She plays Ralph. She plays Mine. She can't play Danny. Oopsie daisy. She's a parasite. Media. That makes sense. I have seen it happen elsewhere on YouTube. People encouraging a creator to self-destruct for the drama. Entertainment, gross. You guys are gross. You guys are gross to do that. Gotcha. You said, yes, she could be posing as a nurse from the States and just apply to get licensed in Quebec. Ooh. Why do you keep repeating yourself? That ain't fun. I know Maggie didn't say what. I'm not explaining that no more. You're starting to bore me. Yeah. Yeah. Woohoo. So V Goddess, was you on Golden's channel yesterday? Oh, they love it. I've seen people in her chat cheering her on to continue fighting other content creators on this platform, even to continue striking people out of vengeance. So I guess it was okay for Maggie to strike me too, Mom Star. Is that what you're saying? Mom Star is looking for a biscuit and a pat on the head from her master. Run along with your windmilling. According to Wikipedia, maggots only take around a day to hatch from eggs. We thought she was hatching birds, but now it makes more sense. It's more maggots. Do we have any maggots from emojis? Because she didn't say what you're saying she said. About what? About what? She did say that. People need some good in their lives and hearts. Cheryl, Maggot has claimed that her teaching a degree was rescinded, but could not have been due question about the legitimacy of her credentials. Ooh, girl, your degree might not even be any good with this 3.9 GPA. Who sits in a bathtub and calls in on a YouTube live? Think we need to make it Wayne somewhere else, Mag. Yeah. Self-destruct. Mom Star won't answer the fact that she struck me. She seems to be ignoring that. I don't want to talk about that, Letitia. Let's talk about CPS, which is worse. You support her in all the effed up stuff she does. Why are you here swinging for her bull? Yeah, she did say she was leaving. Way too much ego for her own good. That's a shame. Yeah, she came back huffing and puffing. Maggie has claimed she was unjustly terminated from the bank. I don't believe that. Montreal, and that she received a settlement as a result. I believe that they just gave her something and told her to get the hell on. This raises the question, could her termination have been related to the use of fraudulent credentials? Good point. I want proof of the 3.0. Me too, degree, because Maggot is a slow learner. I think she got participation credits, certificates, probably. Most narcissist personality disorder people eventually self-destruct. Maggot is no different. Her ego prevents her from taking accountability and changing. Wow. Right, girl, you had your laptop in the bathtub. She sounded like a beach well with every splash. Is this channel against blocking or what? No way Momstar should continue to hijack this live talking about Maggot. Mira, we're closing it down. Momstar hasn't said anything that's disrespectful. Maggot claims she is unable to discuss the details of her termination from the Bank of Montreal due to a non-disclosure agreement, NDA. They probably told her she couldn't talk about it. Her behavior, didn't she say she had a twin brother? Her behavior matches many narcissists. Like Megan. Megan and Maggie are alike. Oh, it's good to see you. You're gorgeous. Thanks for joining me. Sorry I didn't join last night. It was so late. But, I mean, I was in the bed and I was probably going to keep them up if I had got on. But it looked like you guys were having so much fun. I wanted to join. Momstar is here to report back to her leader since her leader can no longer use LL's content. Yeah, she wants to talk about me so bad. Too bad, too sad. Her supporters love the doxing and constant fighting and drama in their sector. Maggot was fighting most people here, so no wonder they liked her and encouraged her. Yep. Saying F you. Murph claims to hold a PhD in psychology, but it is possible that his so-called degree came from the same alleged diploma, reported run by Maggot's aunt. Oh, interesting. Bye, Demon Dictator. Mel Star, Mophead. That doesn't bother me. But you won't be calling me names, so you won't be disrespectful. So I'm going to put you in timeout. They love coming over here. Penny, I went to your channel a couple of times. I couldn't understand her. She had nothing but hate to spill. That's it. That's it. Murph has been very quiet, trying to fly under the radar. Nobody looking for him. Maggot was better in that closet with the lights out. Troll alert. Yes, dictator, you spotted it. It was specifically nursing degrees, and it was reported throughout the United States. Nurses from Ohio, Florida, and Texas were the most affected by cousin, one of them. Oh, that is a shame. Hello, Ziggy Lee, chick with the crown. Following Danny's investigation, it was determined that Merck does not hold a PhD in psychology. She has since reported him to his local authorities. Danny ain't playing. Mayor Letitia will indicate if she wants anyone timed out, and it's Letitia's choice which messages she responds to. I just timed out someone that was rude. Weirdo. Weirdo. Yeah, I don't mind being called an op-ed, because I know I don't look like an op-ed. My hair is just curly and wavy like that, and it is what it is. Girl, go to the Shadows Mom Star, first time really being in a chat with such highly intelligent viewers. Exactly. It might be too much intelligent going on in this chat, guys, because we don't talk nasty and be rude and disrespectful to people. We're cordial. Hello, Tune the News. Hello, Lake Erie. We need a maggot emoji. Yes, we do, media. That's the best I got. They have no maggot emojis. Oh, okay. They have this other thing too, the hatchling still works. We can remember they were also little maggots. They were at one point in time. There were little maggots. Yeah, she's in a meltdown. Mom Star, the words of your leader, are you dumb or are you stupid? Let's go. Get off, repeat. Are you dumb or are you stupid? Is that a maggot? JBCB. Oh, snap. I think one of the maggot's eggs hatched, and maggot lava has appeared in the chat. Hello, Carol. Participation certificate, Lisa. She said petition. No Jim Farr fame, Jay fame. I didn't believe Maggot has a degree. See, nobody does. I know I don't talk about my GPA. I think mine was 3.85. And I made the dean's list, but I'm not going around. I got a 3 point. Just stupid. I had a 3.9. And how many times is she going to tell us? Just that pet spray. Maggot for some of that pet spray that she was eating on her hidden camera video. If she saw Danny's video, I'm sure she saw it. Yeah, she's very immature. Very immature. Yeah, she said she had a twin brother. Lying. You don't know what to believe. She got nothing else going on. Please don't leave. It's very cerebral here, and my brain feels like it's waking up again. The big owl just stays in mess. A child stuck at 12. Look, Mom, I got a GPA. Do not matter after graduation. It don't, none of that. It don't. Oh, thank you guys. Also, she said her mom left her a house and it's hers now, but she also said she has to pay a mortgage each month, which her mom probably pays. It's her mom's house. It is. Mom just letting her stay there. After 6 months of brigading the platform, she goes back to main abusing. Yep, her favorite pastime. Mom star went in circles for 30 minutes since I joined the late. Hijacking is disrespectful in my opinion. Yes, it is. That's right, Mirror. No, she doesn't want to get a job. Her parents left to live elsewhere because none wants to live near the maggot. Oh, wow. I didn't mean to ban him. I banned him. He's been banned. You've been banned, Mel Star. Hello, Penny. She's so pressed that she can't use Lady Letitia's content. And honestly, good on you for adding music under your commentary. I didn't call you nothing. Shaw keeps saying she could edit it or throw on a chickmunk voice, but it'll be real. She's just too lazy to do the work. Yep. Maggie, one brush pass from being bald. Don't play. The one that come to the light. Oh, thanks, Penny. I appreciate that. Yeah, I meant to time him out, but it looked like I blocked him. She's here like a pest. I'm a troll, same as LL was. Good for Danny reporting fraudulent degrees is so important. It is. She must have stepped away for a moment. Yeah, I blocked them by accident. I didn't mean to. Is little Maggot in the chat? Did they call you Mophead because Maggot has a bald head? They need to realize that having beautiful full hair is not an insult. Exactly, Pat. We're not bullying you, Mom Star. You're just over here in it. You're over here in it. People don't like your master. It is what it is. Are you dumb or are you stupid? She loves saying that with her dumb and stupid. Yeah. No, not a troll. She loves to brag about how hard she works on her channel. But in truth, all she does is react to those people content, stir up chaos, and pump out chat GPT clickbait. That's right. That's right, Cheryl. It's the kind of low effort content using associated with creators who are more lazy than talented and more loud than original. Let me know if you want it styled for a caption, article, or a roast. Oh, Mom Star, I would never go anywhere where I'm not wanted. Also, it's what your leader do, bullying. Admit some of the stuff she does is just foul, like striking people for no reason at all. That's right, Lisa. Maggie got confused and is using her dish rag as her headband. At least she is putting it on hold her wig place. Oh, you're back. I thought I timed you out. She's a big liar. 15,000 of fraudulent nurses degrees and transcripts. Wow. That's something. Troll alert. Yeah, Mom Star. Nope, she can't answer the question. Penny. I bet you have beautiful hair. Lisa, I used to be a friend of LL. For your info, I have every right to ask what's happening. What do you mean, what's happening? Don't be rude, Mom Star. Yeah, she's on repeat. Who the F are you? Who are you talking to? Please go away, Mom Star. LL has never subscribers, has new subscribers. That's why you see others here. She mocked Auntie Mickey's short hair. She did. Yet, aside from a glimpse of her edges, her own hair has nothing actually been seen. Yeah, it looks a little kinky. as long as it's been answered, this chat doesn't seem to get that Maggie actually doesn't say about CPS, and we have no control over what people say. If you agree or on that, you go away. Nope, I don't agree with you. I totally disagree with you, Mom Star, that she does hold responsibility because it happened on her platform and it shouldn't happen. She claims to be the primary financial caregiver for her parents, yet she's only been monetized on her channel since this year. So who was covering her mortgage before that? I don't believe she was telling the truth. It's apparent her mother has been footing the bills. The truth is she avoids holding a real job and relies on others to support her lifestyle. Listen to that, Maggie. Listen. Your mom is paying your rent. You're not giving your mom any money. You just got monetized. The little money that you are making is not enough to pay the mortgage. And that's why you keep coming up with these schemes talking about make it wane. And you want $1,000 to sue Danny. It doesn't cost $1,000 to sue Danny. It doesn't cost that much to, I even called down there today to see how much it costs to take on a civil suit. And here in Texas, it's only $130 to file. So what does she need $1,000 for if she's going to file by herself? Hi, Snowdrop. Oh, no. I just said you're probably around somewhere. No, I don't need you. Thank you. Thank you for checking. Lone Star, no one's answering that question. Put a 1 minute in the chat if you want Mom Star to leave. Yeah, put a 1 in the chat if you want her to leave. Yep, her thumbnails prove how unoriginality, untalented, and juvenile she is, and she tries to sing, but she fails miserably. You can't sing, Maggie. She feels entitled. We got it. Now go away. She feels entitled. I'm sorry, give it up. Your sentiments, your semantics, and what a is tired and flat. What a poultry is tired and flat. Splitting hairs over two gross people makes you a very sad and lonely individual. I know why you are attracted to the maggot. I believe the punishment of supporting Maggot and her lies and bull is the PayPals they send for the scam likely. She has to buy food. I don't believe her. Yep. We already see her dirty deeds, JBZ. Yeah, she's still talking CPS. Looks like everybody wants you to leave, Mom Star. No more about CPS, or I am going to put you out. Well, guys, I do need to run. This has been so wonderful. I love chatting with you guys. Mwah. I want to thank you guys so much for my super chat, super stickers from USA. Thank you so much. And thank you for my membership, gifted membership. And Lisa, I want to thank you for my super chat, super sticker. Love the music. Sky is the limit for you, sweet lady. Thank you so much. It's too kind. And Cheryl, thank you for coming. I like when you're here. It's so interesting to really get to know who this person is. $1,200 for a basement rental that gives off serious silence of the lamb's energy, more dungeon than dwelling. It does. And then there's no kitchen. Well, I'm gonna get to eat. I'm not sharing it with her. Good night, baby. To make matters worse, there's no private bathroom. The only one available is upstairs in her space. That's about $880 to $890 US for what amounts to a glorified storage room. Yes, if that. No, I love your made-up words. Mom Star's gone to repeat the headquarters. I'll make up a word in a minute. Yeah, she's going to report to headquarters. Poor Loki. Now all of that dirty owl secrets. I feel so sorry for her mind. All right, guys. Mwah. Thank you so much for your love and your support and hanging out with me. Looks like Diddy might be going free soon. And have a wonderful afternoon. I won't be back tonight, maybe tomorrow. Yeah, a bathroom and a kitchen. Eat. That's okay. Forget that. You don't have a place for this person to leave if you got to share bathrooms. And yeah, forget that. Have a great day, everyone.